What's going on, boxing fans? Julian Williams here at the distance. Got a video for you guys today. This one is Riddick Bowe, Eccentricity at its best. This is a video that was actually brought to my attention by Overlord Kroll, another good channel here on YouTube. Kind of suggested it to me, and I'm just gonna talk about Riddick Bowe. Basically, this is just the premise of the video. But Riddick Bowe, Eccentricity at its best. Riddick Bowe was just a very eccentric individual. He is, excuse me. But throughout his career, all kinds of odd things have just happened to him. There's always that one person in life, in your personal life, that just bad things just always happen to them, or weird things happen to them, and that was Riddick Bowe. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with the cartoon Hey Arnold from I was like a preteen when it came out, and it came out in like 96 or 97, 98, whatever year it came out. Hey Arnold was a cartoon. There's that one character that always had bad stuff happen to him, or weird stuff happen to him, and that just reminded me so much of Riddick Bowe. When I see this character on Hey Arnold, Riddick Bowe has been in a series of stuff in and out of the ring that was just odd. First off, one incident, he punched Larry Donald with a 1-2 at a press conference. Larry Donald was just standing there, and he just turns around and hits him. There was another opponent he threw, I think he threw a glass at. I think that was at a press conference as well, and the Elijah Tillery fight, when he basically clotheslined him like he was the Ultimate Warrior, and the Goliath fights when he got low blowed, and I don't know if that was on Riddick Bowe or not, but I'm gonna get to that one. Fan Man, just weird stuff always followed Riddick Bowe. Now don't get me wrong, Riddick Bowe had a very decent career. I think he could have done a lot more, but he didn't. Personally, this is just my opinion. By the time before Lennox Lewis was the champion, that's before Lennox Lewis had perfected his style, and Lennox Lewis in the Bruno fight was still a little bit green. And that's just only my opinion. I thought Lennox Lewis was still a little bit green. He didn't really perfect his style and didn't really peak yet. And Riddick Bowe was hitting his peak around the time Lennox Lewis became his mandatory. And what did he do? He threw his belt in the garbage. Which is like the real... I'm sorry, but if you're a boxer, man, that's a real pussy thing to do, is to throw your belt in the garbage because you don't want to fight anybody. You can vacate it. You can, blatantly... and he did duck. Lennox Lewis. You could just vacate it, whatever, but he threw the belt in the trash, which is probably one of the most despicable things that I could say has probably happened in boxing. If not the most despicable or punk ass thing in boxing, it's up there. But anyway, if you look at it, I don't want to take too much away from Riddick Bowe, because he took the O away from Evander Holyfield when Evander Holyfield was a heavyweight champion after beating Buster Douglas in I believe 90 or 91, when he beat Buster Douglas, who was basically boxing's biggest one-trick pony. He went on. He beat Evander Holyfield. I personally think that's Evander Holyfield was on top of his game at that time. So he holds a victory over him. He took the O away. He gave Holyfield some problems. Used his size and boxing ability, incorporated it all together. But and then the other fights, Elijah Tillery, and this is where I'm going to get to with the low blows. I personally think that Riddick Bowe talked the fighters. If you looked at the Tillery fight, notice that when they both were standing inside, Bowe had his guard up, and all of a sudden Tillery's like kind of running away. He's kind of running away right after that. He's trying to get away from him. I personally think that Riddick Bowe talked to people. I think he was talking. I think in the Goliath fight, he could have been talking to Goliath. And he was good enough of a boxer to give fighters like Goliath trouble. If he wanted to stand outside and jab, and even though the second fight he was definitely a shell of his former self. Hell, I thought he was gone before the third Holyfield fight, and that's just what I think. I thought he was gone before then. But overall though, Riddick Bowe, I personally think he talked to fighters, and maybe it was to intimidate him. He's from Brooklyn as well. From what I remember, I think he's from Brooklyn as well. I don't think I think he might be from Brownsville. Correct me if I'm wrong. Same area as Mike Tyson, but unfortunately, really we didn't see Riddick Bowe, fight, you know, Mike Tyson, Tommy Morrison, George Foreman. We didn't get to see him fight all these fighters because the trilogy. I believe personally the trilogy with Evander Holyfield had taken a lot out of him. And trilogies do take a lot out of you as a fighter. Because mostly we don't see trilogies when most of the time when there's just tactical boxing matches. We see trilogies when there's wars. Unfortunately, that's the only time we see trilogies, when they're absolute wars. And that trilogy took a lot out of Riddick Bowe. And the weight fluctuations between fights toward the end of his career, wasn't fighting as frequently as he did, early on in his career, because there was a time he was fighting like five, six times out of the year, and there was actually a time where he fought, I think when he fought Selden, he had a fight like a couple weeks before. But man, Riddick Bowe, unfortunately, he was past his prime, like right after he peaked. The trilogy with Holyfield took a lot out of his body, and the trilogy with Holyfield is like people of my generation's, Frazier Ali, and before Frazier Ali we had Johansson Patterson, which is another amazing trilogy that doesn't even get talked about. I thought the Johansson Patterson trilogy was really good. I think it's not on the same level as Bowe Holyfield or Ali Frazier, but overall, it's just, straight out slugfest, along with some tactical boxing as well. But those are pretty much the three great heavyweight trilogies, and that's just my opinion. But Riddick Bowe was just an odd person, and I'm just getting back on that. He was just odd. He talked shit to Lennox Lewis, talking about he's like, "You're not who I thought you were." And then he didn't. Then he threw his belt in the trash. Didn't fight Lennox Lewis when he could have beaten him. I'm pretty sure he could have beaten him, even because the amateurs are a lot different from the professionals. But it is what it is. I think he's still trying to fight. If I'm not mistaken, I know he had a fight in either '07 or '08, and he came back in '04. And then he got arrested because he kidnapped his wife and family. So, wow. Odd, right? Anyway, guys, that was the distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.